I just finished a great hunt on some public land this morning. I was able to tag out on a trophy Jake. It was a really fun hunt on a piece of public land I've never been to before. Um, Had to get up at about 2:15 in the morning to make the drive here. Probably walked, I don't know, I would say about between 2 and 3 miles before I heard my first gobble. Had to go up a ridge over so that I didn't come up right behind this bird. Circle around the top to the ridge that the bird was on. Got to within probably inside of 100 yards of this bird and had a deer walk right up next to me, like less than 10 yards away, saw me and ran directly at the turkey and scared him away. So I made another loop around the side of the ridge. The bird started gobbling again, so I made some calls and he answered immediately to my first two calls. He came right into probably about 40 yards, but as you'll see in a second, I had 3 trees right in front of me, directly where the bird came from, and he stayed right behind those at about 40 yards for what seemed like forever. It was at least 5 minutes, I bet it, without a doubt. He finally moved a little bit to where I could see his head. He stuck his big blue and white head up. And at this point I thought it was a gobbler. I didn't realize it was a Jake because of the undergrowth. And when he presented the shot in between the small gap in the trees, I took it and I dropped him right there at about 35 yards. It was a great hunt, and I'll show you where the bird was, and I'll show you the bird in just a minute here. So this is the view that I had during my hunt, and off to my side here there's a ridge. I don't know if you can tell, it slopes down like this and the ridge goes out that way, and the bird was gobbling over there, and that's where I bumped into the deer, and the bird then ran or flew down towards the bottom, and I made a big loop around the ridge this way and came back to the spot where I'm at so that I didn't go directly at the bird. And the bird answered and made his way up in between these 2 trees. I saw him go through this gap for just a second, and then he stayed right behind that middle tree for what it was at least 5 minutes. And then he eventually made his way back in between these 2, and I shot him right in between the gap of the middle tree and the small tree just to the left of it, right there. Just wanted to add a map explanation to this video just to a little bit better illustrate how my how my hunt unfolded. So I started my morning here in this parking lot, ended up walking down this field out to this ridge and kind of started my hunt there in the morning. I was hoping that there would be turkeys roosted on some of these ridge points that I'm pointing out right here, and that from a location in this area I would be able to be close enough to hear the turkeys gobbling and move in from there. That ended up, I didn't end up hearing any turkeys gobbling on any of these ridges, and the timber was a lot more open than I expected. So I moved down to this field and opening down here after that. Did not hear or see any turkeys there. From there, walked around this ridge and came up this drainage till I got to this location. When I did finally hear a turkey gobble, I was intending to climb this ridge and check out some locations over there, but from right here I heard a turkey gobble, and he was in this location right here. So instead of coming straight at the bird and walking straight up the ridge, I instead took a path and walked up this ridge, staying on the far side of it, just in case the turkeys were close enough that they could see me, and worked my way around until I got to about here. From that point, just going to zoom in a little bit. From that point, the turkey was gobbling, I would say, in this area. So I did move in, and this is right about the spot I got to when I heard when I had that deer walk in on me. And so the deer was coming up the ridge at me in this direction. The turkey was right here and had moved around. The deer then spooked and ran right at the turkey, and I heard the turkey, or I didn't hear the turkey move away, but he then gobbled from lower in the ravine. So from that point, I made my way back around this side of the ridge, kind of made a big loop back around to try and reposition on the bird and give the bird some time to calm down. I don't know why that circle came up. So from my position here, we'll zoom in a little bit more for you. From my position here, the turkey was below me. I ended up then calling him to him, and he made his way up the ridge again, and that's where I ended up shooting the bird. But just wanted to illustrate how when I bumped the bird, made my way back around this ridge instead of going straight at the turkey. So that's how the hunt unfolded. I hope this was helpful. Here's my bird. Super proud of this bird for all the miles that I put on, and for being public land. I feel like any bird is a real trophy. Like I said, I walked a lot of miles today and really enjoyed this beautiful piece of public land, and capped off the last day of the season with a beautiful bird. Can't wait to take them home, get them cleaned up, and maybe we'll have some turkey for dinner tonight. Thanks for watching.